Rajiv, I cannot believe I'm still in shock and surprised that you were in the Big Boss house. Like we've met each other so many times at events, and I was just like,
I know, I
what is
know.
he doing on the telly?
Oh, you know me.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you did really well, and I'm really
Thank
gutted
you
to
so
see you
much.
out of the house. I mean,
I
how
know.
would you describe your first initial 24/48 hours of coming out from the Big Boss house?
It was very surreal because you know what? I didn't expect to come out at all. I didn't expect to be out because obviously Bichukle was sitting there, and I think everybody was shocked that she came out of the house. And the whole house, the whole nation is shocked. Like in India, as trending, put back Raji back in the house. I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy the love of God, but I really didn't expect to be out of the house. It's very surreal, but obviously I missed my Coke, so I had my Diet Coke. But apart from that, I'm really sad to be out of the house. But it's okay. What can you do now?
So, I mean, I think what were your expectations before going in, Big Boss? Because I think you mentioned as well that it was a very spontaneous decision, right, for you to go in. तो वो मतलब एक driving force क्या था आपके लिए और क्या expectations थे आपके लिए? I think before you went in, and has it sort of met those expectations now that you've experienced it?
I think I've over exceeded my expectations because when I went in the house, मुझे लगा था कि मतलब 2-3 हफ्ते शायद लोग मुझे because I had no fan following. I was known in the industry a lot, but कोई मुझे जानते नहीं था बाहर. Like the people didn't know me outside, right? तो I thought fan following नहीं है, celebrity नहीं हूँ, शायद वो जो लोग मुझे पसंद नहीं करेंगे. So I thought maybe I'll be out of the house. But to be there for 8 weeks, 3 weeks before the finale, I mean it's a big deal, and the amount of love and the amount of response I've got is phenomenal. Like I didn't expect that. So I think I've over exceeded my expectations in the house, and I'm happy. Like I'm so happy that the reaction I've got from the public is so great. I'm just so happy.
Good, that's good. Now, obviously, you and Shams are pretty much besties, and she's
Yeah.
literally like your sister. And I love Shamita
Mhm.
as well, and I think she's doing so well on the show. So I think you had her as a concrete friendship, but then I think we saw you develop a really lovely bond with Umar as well, and
Yeah.
Karan and Tejasvi as well during the latter stages as well. But I think there was this one line that you said, "Tum teen ho, tum charo, aur main phasa beech mein," and I think that's really that's really stuck with me. You know what, Rajiv? I actually made a bit of a meme actually out of it. Do you know what I did? I said
Sandwich.
when you're trying to teach non-gujus how to do garba, it's like this, and then like you're stuck in the middle. So
The reason I said that was because in the class I didn't know what the hell was going on. मुझे पता नहीं था. I said
yeah.
आप मेरा बैग खाली नहीं कर रहे हो, आप मेरा बैग खाली नहीं कर रहे हो, और मैं बीच में फंस गया. मतलब I don't understand. No, nobody was giving me a clear answer. I'm like क्या हो रहा है? I'm like hello, something was going on. I'm like am I individually playing now? Like I had no idea. I was so and the task is not what pissed me off. Pissed off मुझे क्या हुआ था, मुझे क्यों बुरा लगा था कि हम नीचे आए थे, करने के पास गए थे, क्या हुआ? And he goes to me, वो तो भरोसा लायक नहीं हो, आपसे बात ही नहीं करोगे बात. I was like, excuse me, like where was I not भरोसा लायक in the show? Just because I was talking to everybody, I was being with everybody, I didn't have groupism, I didn't fight with people that much, doesn't mean I'm a borosa like. It means that I'm a friendly guy who likes to keep connections in the house and be friendly to everybody. So that's the trigger point which pissed me off. And I think that week also was a very heavy task because of the VIPs just come in. So it was tension in the building. I think everybody has a day like that in the house where they just go mad. And I went mad.
Yes, and I was gonna say, do you feel like you afterwards kind of found it difficult to sort of find that concrete basis of friends? Because because I mean it's fine to sort of be friends with everyone, because I'm the same as well. I like to keep it civil with everyone, and just be cool with everyone, right? Because it's important to do that in life. But do you also feel, because of the house and the way Big Boss is as a competition, did you feel that because you didn't have that solid base of friends besides Shamita, of course, do you feel that might have also been a bit of a struggling point for you?
See, Shamita obviously was a support system for me. And I think Umar was my friend from day one and it grew on time. So I always knew Shamita and Umar were there for me.
Yeah.
But see, I never expected anyone to trust me or put me as a priority or, make me win the show. I was very confident that, I have Shamita, Shamita has me, and we have there for each other. And Umar, I told Umar also, I said, I have no expectations from you because, bro, I have not made you as a friend for the game. I made you a friend for life. So if you want to choose Karan, it's fine by me. I'm not going to be angry. But I think I had a bond and I had a connection with everybody in the house. Even if we were playing together, we were not playing together. Everyone liked me. I liked everybody. And I think once we used to fight in the house for the 5 minutes, I was the only one saying, "Oh, chalo, church, now let's have tea together." So I used to diffuse it very, very quickly because I could be angry with anybody in the house. I can't sleep at night if I'm angry with someone in the house. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
how.
It makes sense. And the thing is, Rajiv, I mean, we've known each other for quite some time. We've met at a couple of events through Karan, actually, through Karan Tacker. That's how we kind of know each other. And you know, I know of you, but I think a lot of people in India obviously were quite fresh to you and getting to know you. Obviously, you have the industry friends as well and colleagues who are quite aware of you. But how important was it for you to kind of make your identity known through the platform of Bigg Boss?
I went into Bigg Boss not as a. For me, it was like I want to. I was always approached like people was always saying go to Bigg Boss, go to Bigg Boss, but I didn't think the time was right until now because Shamita was in the house, it was an incentive for me to go. When I went in the house, I was very open minded. Either I'm going to do it well or I'm going to do it really badly and come out. So I knew I was putting my life on the line. I knew I was exposing myself, because you do on the show, right? 24 hours a day, you're putting your life on the line. So I was a bit worried about how the public would judge me. But then I realized I have to be myself. You can't be in somebody else. So you have to be yourself. You have to be genuine in the house. And what you saw, because you know me from outside, is what I am. It's just who I am as a person. Like I couldn't fake who I was. And when they say, are you sad? You didn't win the trophy. You didn't go for the trophy. But I think I've won the hearts of millions because they took me for who I am.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest trophy to me. Like I've been accepted and loved by people just for who I am. So for me, I won in my heart.
Yeah, definitely. But I think what's also very fascinating, Rajiv, is like when we watch Bigg Boss, we form our opinions on the way people are. But you've obviously lived inside, right? So have your opinions changed on anyone?
Of course, I think that's a very good question because what happens is when you're in the house, outside the house, you see 1.5 hours of footage on a thing, right? I had certain perception of Nishant when I went in the house, of certain people in the house. When I went in the house, Nishant's perception changed immediately. Because we used to talk and laugh so much with Nishant. Like he was my gossip buddy. We would talk all the time at night time, discuss this and that. And I could talk to him with my eyes like he would know what I'm talking about. He's very funny. And with a SARS glow thing going on, so it's very funny there also. But majority of your opinions do change on a daily basis in the house. It's not even like when I walked in, I changed that time and that was permanently that opinion. Every day dynamics change. Every hour it's changing in the house because कोई लड़ाई होती है, फिर कोई बोलता नहीं है, फिर कोई मुद्दा उठता है. So every hour it's changing in the house. Something or another is happening.
And do you feel like you've also changed? In what way have you changed actually as a person?
I think I've accepted myself more as a person because when you're in the house, you had a thyroid issue. My body was fluctuating a lot. I was very scared because I was modeling before. So like, my body keeps fluctuating. And the time I went in the house was the biggest I've ever been. So I was like, oh shit, it's come at this time. And I'm actually quite heavy because I was the biggest I've ever been. I'm like, I'm going in the house at this time. And I thought, screw it, I'm going to go. And I became myself now. So I didn't care what people thought about me, what I looked like, how I woke up in the morning, if I was wearing glasses, not. I accepted myself for who I was and I was proud of it. I was like, this is me. Either accept me for me or if you don't accept me, it's fine. But I knew that I had to show my genuine side.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's very important, Rajiv, because I feel like what happens on Bigg Boss now, like for example, a lot of the times on weekend covers, there's a lot of, sometimes, other housemates will say, oh, you're this, you're that. But then people are that, but they just don't own up to it. And I'm just like, why don't you own up to it? There's nothing wrong with being who you are. I mean,
Exactly.
there's literally bad people out there who claim to be, who own whatever bad things that they do. But if you're doing something that's just a normal thing, then it's not a really bad thing, is it? Like, I just...
No, not at all.
Yeah, I find that double standards a bit annoying sometimes when I watch Bigg Boss as well. Why do
I think what it is, I think what happens in the house is when you do tasks in the whole week you're doing it, when it comes to weekend kavar, everyone shits themselves. People really, I remember the first weekend kavar, I couldn't sleep at night. And after that, I became more comfortable. But I remember when Salman had a go with Shamita, the following week I was like, oh God, I was praying, I was doing Hanuman Chalis, I was like, oh God, please don't shout at me again. Because you don't know you forget what you've done in the day. Like you in a week, you forget what you've done in the week. So after a week, he's like, did I say that? When did we talk about? Like, Umar, he goes, oh, you and Umar were discussing this outside. I'm like, Umar, when were we discussing this? Like, you forget what you've done. So things that you might think are very normal come out to be very big outside. So it's a very, weekend kaval is very like strenuous. It's very, very heart-wrenching when you're in the house. And it's a very long shoot. So it's a very tiring episode also.
Okay, so who are you not fond of? In terms of from whether it's because of your opinions that you have inside the house or outside, and who are you intending on meeting after the show?
I think Bit Shukla for sure because I don't understand the man. I think he's very confusing. Devolina, I've had problems with her in the house, so I think that uh, I don't know how I think she'll be sweet outside. I tried to mend it with her, but it didn't really work. So I think outside the house, I could be talking to her, not best friends, but obviously if I meet her, be very cordial with her. But in the house, you couldn't be friends because she had her judgments about me, and I just was like, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm going to ask you this question, but I think I probably know what the answer is going to be. But I'm going to ask you anyway. Who do you see as your winner of Bigg Boss 15?
Well, Shamita Shetty, obviously.
Yes.
But I would like Shamita and Umar to go. Like I like Umar and Shamita being the top two for sure.
You know, Umar is actually very underrated. So I'll tell you what, I like Pranesh, okay? So I really like Prateek, Nishant, and Shamita. But I must say Umar is very underrated and his game is actually very strong. Like I think he's a good player, actually. Like even
he's a very good player.
In these past few days, I've actually been very impressed with his work. So yeah.
He's very good. He's very sweet. He plays the tasks very well. He takes the game very seriously. But there's a side to him which is not really shown, which is a very sweet, humble, loving side, which is humorous. I couldn't have survived this house if it wasn't for Shamita and Umar. These two have really were my backbone of the house. And Shamita is my sister family. And he became my best friend. And you want a guy talk and you want to have chit chat. So he took that side for me. And we used to stay up at night and make parathas and make chai and do so much stuff. So I mean, we really enjoyed ourselves. And I know he's missing me. I'm missing him. I'm definitely missing Shamita. I know she's missing me. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. I hope they both reach the finale as top two.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said yesterday on your live that you were going to meet Shilpa, right? So what was her reaction?
Yes, I'm meeting her tonight for dinner.
Oh, good. Okay, I wonder what her reaction is going to be. I'm looking forward to finding out what her reaction
is. I spoke to her before and she was like, oh, you did so well. And she was so proud of me. She's like, see, I don't understand. People see mine and Shamita's fights, as a sport, your relationship with them. No. But brothers and sisters fight. With this love, there's always fights, right? So it's made our friendship and relationship as a brother and sister more stronger between me and Shamita more than anything.
100%, man, 100%. But look, honestly, Rajiv, man, you did us proud. I mean, I felt very happy.
Thank you so much.
Who I've known for some time go in the house, and you did really, really well. I must say, as a non-celebrity, as someone who's almost like behind the scenes and who people know, and you've made a familiar face now for yourself, so you should be very proud.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure Auntie's very proud and Deepa's very proud as well.
Yes, they're very proud. Thank God. I was worried about them, but I'm glad that.
Yeah, no. I was like, but I was wondering. I was like, Rajiv, kya re Gujarati ma bolse, man? I was like waiting for him to.
You can't. They cut it. They speak in Hindi only. They can't speak Marathi, Gujarati. Nothing has to be in Hindi.
Marathi ma to bolta hoy.
But Rakhi is Gujarati, and I was speaking a bit of. But then now I'm speaking so much Hindi, I've forgotten half my Gujarati, so it didn't make sense to speak Gujarati. So
don't worry. If you speak with me again, we'll polish your Gujarati.
Done. Thank you so much, bro.
Listen, it was lovely to chat with you, Rajiv. Wishing you all the very best.
So much, Anuj. I'll speak to you soon.
Definitely.
Take care.
Take care, buddy. Bye.
Bye.